We're into the rainy season now, and obviously flooding will be a concern as we move into the winter months.
But no one wants a repeat of what happened in the Willamette Valley in the winter of 1996. Heavy rains in January of that year saturated the ground. That was followed by a blizzard that padded the region's snowpacks and a deep freeze that lasted over a week. And then the weather warmed up and it rained again. The rivers quickly filled up and the flooding spread east to the Cascades and west to the coast. Tonight, as we celebrate 50 years on the air, a trip back in time to Mapleton, 1996, courtesy of reporter Doug Barber.
A break in the weather this morning gave homeowners in Mapleton an opportunity to check out the damage. Elvin Huntington's lived along the Siuslaw River all his life.
That's the worst I've seen it. Part of it's because it caught everybody so quickly, come up so fast.
Huntington knows his neighbors' homes will be as bad as his.
This house is brand new. They just moved in 2 weeks ago. One thing, you know, you get a disaster, it's kind of nice in some ways because it kind of draws people together in the community a little bit more, help out.
As we approach Elvin's house, I thought I saw power lines in the water. Fortunately, I was wrong.
Oh, it's a soaker hose. Oh, we a little overdid the yard.
Then we dock at the porch and climb through the muck into his house.
This is an indoor-outdoor carpet.
Everything is covered with a layer of mud. Before the Huntingtons evacuated Wednesday morning, they piled everything they could on top of a ping pong table.
And once we got up what we could get up, we decided to get out and hope for the best and then come back and clean up.
There was 14 inches of water in the living room when he left. Eventually, it reached the tabletops, coating everything with mud, even the inside of the refrigerator.
It's pretty close to 30 inches in the house here. But could have been a whole lot worse.
Like everything else in the house, the back deck is slick with goop.
We used to have a boat dock right out there.
Huntington would like to start hosing out the mud, but there's no water available.
When it's wet, you can wash it and move it, but when it, you know, if you let it sit too long and dries, then, you know, it's really hard to move.
The garage is still half full of water. Everything inside is floating around.
Not too good.
Huntington and his son had recently stockpiled 6 cords of firewood. It's gone now, swept away by the high water.
Yeah, it went clear up over the top of the carport roof.
Elvin's anxious to begin cleaning up, but he rows us back to dry ground first.
It is really nice here in the summer and on the river normally. You just have to take the risk if you like to live down here.
Huntington's neighbors call out, wanting to know how his house is doing.
It's messy, but it could have been worse. You gotta look at the positive.
Despite all the damage, Huntington says he has no thoughts of leaving. In Mapleton, Doug Barber, Eyewitness News.
And we were Eyewitness News back then. Elvin Huntington was just one of 30,000 residents displaced by the floods of 1996. The disaster was directly responsible for 8 deaths in Oregon and over $500 million in property damage.